I cannot remember if Mick Wainwright did the other what ifs. There's a guy, and I cannot remember his name. He did Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Eric Loomis.
Eric Loomis. That dude, like, just was Tony Stark with like 2 points off on the register in one direction. That dude was insanely good at his job. Not to say this guy didn't either. This guy had a really good handle on the mannerisms. So I wasn't used to seeing someone else nail it as good as him, and I didn't know that they would try to get someone else to do it because they kind of have their people that they go to for these roles. And yeah, it was cool to see someone else get it. Now, I will say, I like this episode and I like the concept quite a bit, but I will say this one could have used an extra day or two nailing down the steps upon which it went through, because this one seemed kind of all over the place. Great concept, and I like it, but it kind of felt like they had the idea and then went, I'm not sure how we're doing this one.
You're not wrong, but before we get too deep into it, this is what if Iron Man crashed into the Grandmaster? So basically, after the Battle of New York, after Tony does his heroic sacrifice, instead of landing on Earth, the portal closes and he somehow finds himself on Sakaar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One other thing I'm learning quite rapidly. Oh boy, does Disney like Korg.
Yeah, this is the second time that he's been in these things, and he'll probably show up again. I'm wondering if, since Taika Waititi was busy doing post-production on Thor: Love and Thunder, that he wasn't just like they probably while he was around had him record all of his dialogue for like at least three of these things.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, most likely. I like how we got a kind of half-assed origin for one of the multiverse characters.
Yep.
That was cool. I wasn't expecting that. And how they're like, here's how Tony Stark crash landed into the Grandmaster. By the way, this is a Gamora origin episode.
It's very much an origin that we didn't really need, but she's here. This is all the cosmic stuff, so why not?
Yeah, this is one of those. I felt like this watching this, and you know this because you reviewed the episodes with me for 2 different shows on our Fresh Takes, Comic and Kill and Violet Evergarden. This kind of felt like they were taking the main characters in the name of the show, but we follow a different character the entire time.
Yeah.
Not as well done as those other ones. Now, that is like saying, by the way, you weren't the Shawshank Redemption, but you still did an all right job. And there was just a lot of moving parts to this one that I thought was kind of like we could have.
Yeah, I think my one biggest criticism of this episode is it sounded like they had 2 different ideas, but threw them in the same pot.
Yeah, it is kind of what they did. I think, honestly, they had the idea of Tony landing on Sakaar, and then somehow Gamora got there, and then they thought, wait, why would Gamora actually be doing this? And then it kind of started swirling into the same bag, and one of them went, oh, remember that really cool Gamora we got from the other one we only had for 2 minutes and everyone liked?
I will say this. The thread that the needle that threads their stories together does make sense given the timeline.
Absolutely.
It's just like, why of all why of all places would Gamora be on Sakaar?
Yeah, because she found Tony somehow. So I get that was it is also like I don't know how the rest of the episodes are gonna go, but I'm like they got through a couple of these and went, hey, we haven't talked about dads at all. That's a subject we haven't breached yet. What if we do a couple of episodes about dads? Oh god. But so yeah, having him fall into a different world from the nuke from Avengers, that was interesting. That was the coolest because I'm sitting here. How the balls do they have him get on Sakaar? And when is he getting on Sakaar? And yeah, they go through all that, but that was interesting. There was I liked the idea of the Grand Prix, and I thought that was going to be just a thing we saw for 2 seconds.
But
And
it turns out to be more of the plot than I expected.
Oh, absolutely. And I was very appreciative of that. It was a great plan to make it be the main sticking point. Uh so I got to meet, oh man, what's his name? He was one of the kindest people in the world to me. You watched Digimon growing up, right?
A couple episodes here and there.
The voice actor of no, I can't think of it. Did you watch the second season?
I don't remember.
The one where they had the armored Digi-Eggs?
I vaguely remember that.
Okay. His name Neil Kaplan is the voice actor I'm talking about. He voiced the I can't think of the name of it was Hawkmon? It might have been Hawkmon. But anyway, he voices a character named Tychus Finley. He was an insanely awesome dude. And when I got to talk to him about StarCraft and stuff, he sat there and talked with me for a good 20 minutes. And he's one of the nicest guys ever. Anyway, he voices a character named Tychus Finley. And when I got to see this Iron Man armor, I kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Now, give or take, I love to make the joke all the time that Warhammer rips off StarCraft. When realistically, StarCraft's whole aesthetic for Marines is a giant ripoff of Warhammer 40k. But yeah, I liked the scrappy Iron Man suit that they made out of that. I like that they made the Grand Prix a new idea. Like I said, this episode is full of wonderful ideas. It's just the roadmap wasn't as clear, which is fine. You pick the I like the thought of they kind of pick the ideas and then commit to them. I don't think they have an idea and then give up on it, which I don't know the writing process. And I was rewatching some of our reviews for the past ones. Oh boy, were we on one we were doing that. What if T'Challa was a Star-Lord? That might have been one of the funnest recordings I've ever had in my life. Are the same writer and director doing all of these? From last year too? Because the name sounded familiar.
AC Bradley.
Yeah, and
yeah, she's been involved in season 1 and season 2.
And it was the same director, right?
That I'm less confident about.
I thought it was the same director because the name sounded familiar from what we were talking about.
Yeah, Brian Andrews. He's done work on both season 1 and season 1. Brian Andrews did all 9 episodes. This time, he didn't do the first one, but he's done the rest.
Got it. Okay. Weird. He only didn't do 1.
Yeah, and it's the Nova Corps episode.
Weird. Huh. Okay. So. Yeah, and we also, and the weirdest thing in this is we got to see Tony drink something.
Yeah. Didn't they make a point of not making him an alcoholic in
especially because A, we didn't need that portrayal, and B, because of RDJ.
Yeah.
Which one of my favorite quotes any human being has ever made in their life came from RDJ after everything happened. He said, what was it? I'm allergic to narcotics. I break out in handcuffs.
Love it.
But yeah, that was really great. And the Grand Prix was fantastic. It reminded me of like Twisted Metal meets pod racing.
With a little bit of Mario Kart and Mad Max.
A little bit. That was all really good. I said it a lot now that I was rewatching some of those other ones while I was editing these, that this style of animation that they have shines brightest when they can use the most colors.
Agreed.
It's very good at making a wide palette of colors and making them work together. It looks the worst when they are in a kind of, what I want to say, darker, more muted area. But yeah, this was started off good. Again, the star power that they get in these for even the little bits is insane.
Just the fact that they bring Rachel House back on top of Goldblum and, well,
Roland. You can't tell me they don't got better things to do.
He comes back for one line and then dies.
Thanos cannot stop taking L's this entire series. They are getting the biggest kick. He's died like 4 times.
I get that they're trying to move away from the Infinity Saga, but like, guys.
I'm just like, it's come every time. And what happened to Thanos? He died. And then what happened? And then for some reason they had to fight Thanos, and he died.
At some point, it's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah. But I do, if they're going to make a running joke out of anything in these, I could be okay with Thanos dying. Because guess what? They went out of their way to show that it's not that big of a deal when they turned the fucking Infinity Stones into paperweights in Loki.
Yeah, true.
Goldblum might have been the person having the funnest time. I forgot how much I love the line, "It's my birthday! It's my birthday!" I will say, one thing other than the overall plot beats and a little bit of pacing that I will make as a complaint, they could have toned down Tony's, what I want to say, referential humor a touch in this episode. He throws a lot of them out in like a half an hour. He had Endgame and Infinity War's worth of pun-esque jokes in a half an hour.
This might be the first time where I get where some of the complaints come from, where people say like Marvel dialogue is a bit too referential.
Yeah, this is what everyone thinks it is all the time.
Yep.
And this is the first time that I felt like it was bad, because it was. This is not like this all the time. If you play this and then play a movie next to it and then try to say what I want to say, portions are the same, you're actually insane.
And maybe it's just more noticeable because this story is only like 30 minutes. So, you know, it's not like a movie that has more room to breathe. This is like a very kind of truncated version of that experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was I had a long day at work. We had our audit inventory today, so I'm a little bit more tired than normal. Yeah, it was good. This is really good. I enjoyed it. don't know what else we're going to get in these episodes, because I'm going to tell you, I didn't expect to get a multiverse Avengers Gamora origin story when I saw it with Tony Stark in the title. So I don't know what we're going to get behind these titles. They're willing to do a little bit differently with the titles here. So we'll see exactly how these next ones line up. I'm excited. All right, Mike, where can everybody find you?
You guys can find me on various social media at Captain K42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/Coach K42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and that place at Ren Pop Culture. You can also find us on YouTube, Podchaser, support our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we.
Absolutely. And you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero, mainly Twitch and YouTube. And I lied. I'll be streaming once before my birthday. If you watch this, we'll be doing an game night-esque stream for New Year's. I forgot about that. I will be doing something on my Twitch, but besides that, I won't be doing anything. But all right. Until next time, we'll see you all later.